I am so sorry for my sinful act, which has broken many hearts, including myself.
A former church staff member in DeForest learns his fate today after he was convicted of having inappropriate contact with a teen.
Plus, the man accused of placing cords across a Madison bike path makes his first appearance in court.
And what's next for the Supreme Court after Democrats swing a majority? We'll break down all of the possibilities. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. A former church staffer from DeForest will spend the next few years in a Wisconsin prison before being deported back to his home country.
A Dane County judge handed down the sentence this morning for 31-year-old Rajnal Rehmat, convicted of having an inappropriate relationship with a teenager. Tahlil Moeddin joins us now with more from this morning's proceedings. Tahlil?
And Susan, this case dates back to July of last year, shortly after Rehmat met the young victim. At first, she wanted to stay quiet, but worried he'd do the same to another girl, she found her voice.
But these words, this phrase, sure, when I was nervous and uncomfortable and I said, I don't know, that did not mean that I wanted you to do what you were doing.
These are the words of a 17-year-old girl, a parishioner in DeForest.
My silence was not consent.
In a Dane County courtroom, Judge Nicholas McNamara is reading her statement before 31-year-old Rajnal Rehmat, the man charged with having inappropriate sexual contact with the teenager.
They have treatment in the prison system only that will get his head right, because his head is wrong.
State prosecutor Annie J. argued Rehmat took advantage of his position as a pastoral associate at St. Olaf Church, believing his statements to police show a pattern of abusive behavior.
Basically a grooming how-to guide.
That's just not what happened here. It just isn't.
Rehmat's defense attorney Adam Welch pushed back, arguing there was no evidence to suggest the 31-year-old groomed his victim.
The failing here is that Mr. Rehmat should have known better.
Rehmat pled guilty to one count of child enticement in February. He's now sharing his regrets.
I have learned a lesson from my mistake, and I assure you that I will never do such a shameful mistake again in my life.
His pleas for forgiveness doing little to sway the judge.
I'm not even sure you have the right to ask for that. As she says in her own letter to me, and addressing you as well, that she's not sure she can forgive you, but she will never forget what you did to her.
All parties involved in today's proceedings asserted Rehmat's crime is not an example of a systemic church failure. According to the prosecutor, the Diocese of Madison did everything right in this case.
Tahlil, thank you. Some quieter weather is finally moving in. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is out on the windy weather patio with our first warn forecast. Hi, Gary.
Yeah, the winds are strong, but they should start dying down over the next 24 hours. And then we've got a prolonged period of some nice weather ahead. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. We've had clouds for much of the day. Of course, we had strong thunderstorms even through the morning hours, but those moved through, and now skies are starting to clear out to the west of us. As we look at Doppler track, just some light snow showers up in the northern portion of Wisconsin. They had freezing rain and snow there last night from our storm, while we had severe weather down here. But you can see the wind gusts right now pretty strong, generally in about the 25 to 40 mile per hour range. Some of the maximum gusts to almost 50 miles an hour here in Madison. Most areas were closer to 40 miles an hour. Monroe had a wind gust of 53 miles an hour. Current temperatures continue to fall. We're down to 44 in Madison. Temperatures are already in the 30s over toward La Crosse. Here in Dane County, we're still in the middle 40s for the most part. 46 right now in Edgerton, 45 in Cross Plains, and 45 in Sun Prairie. Look for skies become mostly clear this evening, but it will be windy. Temperatures will drop off into the upper 30s by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at some of the severe weather reports from last night, and then look at the nice weather that we have ahead, especially as we head toward the Easter holiday.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Gary. The man accused of placing cords across a Madison bike path appeared by video in Dane County Court today.
Well, last year, people who used the Badger State Trail told police someone was stringing multiple cords across the trail. It scared bikers who use that path. Kyle Pazorski joins us now with more. Kyle?
Well, people found 4 cords near the Velo Underground area that's on the border of Fitchburg and Madison. On Monday, Curtis Tesmer of Madison was arrested by police after he confessed to detectives that he placed them. Court records show that DNA samples collected on the cords led to Tesmer's arrest. The same documents claim that he initially denied any involvement, but later admitted to it after detectives told him about a DNA match. Today, Tesmer was charged with 4 counts of recklessly endangering safety. Cash bond has been set for $1,000, along with the condition that Tesmer is not allowed to use any Madison area bike trails. Kyle Pazorski for Newsweek Now.
Kyle, thank you, and welcome aboard. By the way, our spring election coverage continues tonight. One of the races making headlines today, Madison City Council. Noah Lieberman beat Isidore Knox by only a few votes. When they tell you that every vote counts, they mean it.
Yeah, that's a perfect example right there. Catherine Merck shares more on that tight race.
In Madison's 14th ward, 2 ballots made the difference between one person getting the job of alderman and the other person not. Today, I spoke with 2 people in this district who didn't vote and now regret that decision.
To be honest, I should have voted. Yeah, because it makes a difference. When it's only 2 votes, it's like, that's crazy.
I remember kicking myself because it was like 7 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot, looking on social media. Time just kind of got away from me, but it just shows the importance of everybody's vote, and you don't think that yours is really going to matter when it really does.
As for these 2 candidates, they're both being good sports about the tight race. They told me a close call just shows the variety of opinions in their district and the importance of every vote.
When we have these very close races, 2 votes is about as razor thin as it can get. The people have spoken. So, my goal right at this point is to make sure that every vote is counted.
Whether it's in one district, one city, or the entire country, every vote counts, every election matters, and I'm happy to be a part of that whatever way I can.
The losing candidate, Isidore Knox, says he's going to file for a recount on Monday morning. Reporting from Madison's South Side, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Now, one of the biggest races of the night, of course, that battle for Wisconsin Supreme Court. Voters shifted the balance of the court, electing Judge Janet Protasewicz. Now, here's a look at the numbers. Protasewicz beating Dan Kelly by 11 percentage points here, almost 12 percentage points. The race called early, just before 9 o'clock at 8:54. And with that Protasewicz victory, the balance of the state Supreme Court will now lean to the left for the first time in 15 years. And it'll likely have significant impacts on Wisconsin for years to come.
That's because right now the state Supreme Court is hearing some of the most important cases we've seen in years. As political reporter Will Keneally joins us live from the Capitol to explain. Will?
That's right. So abortion, we knew, was always going to be tied to the state Supreme Court race. Whoever won yesterday was going to shape abortion policy in Wisconsin for years to come. That's because we have a current lawsuit making its way through state courts, looking to overturn the state's 1849 abortion ban. But what else could we see? Liberals have long decried actions under former Governor Scott Walker to remove collective bargaining rights for state employees, so we could see a case challenging that law. But liberals have also been eyeing a move on the state's legislative maps, which they say unfairly put more Republican politicians in power than they have voters to support them. Carlene Beshen is part of a coalition that advocates for fairer, more competitive maps.
Legislators need to hear us. So the possibility of going to the Supreme Court and having these maps relitigated into something that is more fair is absolutely a win for people who would want fair maps.
So her organization has been pushing for more wholesale change, but she says that this is at least a good first step and one that can happen sooner rather than later. Now, we won't see all of these changes happening right away, essentially. The conservative retiring justice who has the seat now will keep her seat through August. After that August inauguration, then the court will flip for the liberals. They might also have a little bit of a short window in April of 2025. Another seat opens up on the Supreme Court, and liberals will have to defend that one. Reporting from just outside the Supreme Court chambers here in the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Will, thank you. For more election results, look for a special section on our homepage. You'll find more details on statewide and local races. Just go to channel3000.com/election-results.
Former President Trump now facing an unprecedented challenge, defending himself in criminal court while running for president at the same time. Now, that said, his run for the White House may have actually gotten a boost from his indictment on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. A senior advisor for Trump tells CBS News the charges give Trump a, quote, leg up politically. The campaign has raised millions of dollars in recent days, even offering a T-shirt with a fake mugshot. The former president's lawyers say they will try to get the case dismissed long before voters go to the polls.
Did a motion to dismiss for prejudicial pretrial publicity. I mean, is there a place in America, but particularly, is there a place in New York where Donald Trump can get a fair trial? That will be the argument of the defense.
Trump's next court appearance is set for December 4th.
Today, Representative Mark Pocan announced a new federal funding for Jewish social services. The organization received $250,000 for a refugee resettlement in south central Wisconsin last year. Its mission is to empower families across generations and cultures to build community and self-sufficiency inspired by Jewish values.
Now that the numbers are back up to where we've always traditionally been, where our American values are in appreciating refugees, we want to make sure we're supporting the organizations that are doing the very best work here.
Leaders of the organization say the funds will help support their commitment to making Dane County a welcoming and safe community for all.
The Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee kicked off its first stop in a series of listening sessions around the state regarding the state budget. Now, Republicans say they'll reject the governor's proposed budget and again come up with their own version. Joint Finance co-chair Senator Howard Markline and Representative Mark Bourne are calling the road trip a fact-finding part of the building of the budget. Next week, the committee will be in Eau Claire and then to Wisconsin Dells and also to Minocqua. Coming up, Gary has our latest First Warn forecast.
Plus, we'll check in on Midwest communities that were devastated by a string of tornadoes. We'll have details on that after the break. And coming up tonight at 6, how a newly elected Madison City Council member is breaking barriers.
Midweek trading on Wall Street yields mixed numbers. The Dow up more than 80 points. The NASDAQ falls 129.5. The S&P 500 down a little more than 10. We'll be right back.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way. All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Begin planning your springtime project with Menards. Get a free estimate with our Design and Buy program. Use our interactive tools to create and modify detailed, personalized designs for your home. With Design and Buy, your options are limitless. Create your dream patio with our landscape blocks. Add privacy with a new fence. Or spend more time entertaining and relaxing with a low-maintenance deck. Rustic composite decking is just $195 a linear foot after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living, and through no fault of their own, they're being left behind? If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
This is Beth. She's in an endless aisle of flat pack furniture she'll never have time to assemble. What Beth really needs is a break from the DIY with my new Calvin bedroom. She'll love the gorgeous detail on the stylish chevron headboard and stunning white and calming gray finishes. The 5-piece set still only costs $9.99. And with Bobtastic delivery, she can get white glove unpacking, assembly, trash removal, and more. Why do more when you can spend less and get more? Take a break. Spring break at Bob's Discount Furniture.
Create your perfect room for entertaining, relaxing, and more with patio enclosures. Right now, get 25% off your sunroom. Plus, enjoy exceptional financing. Call today.
Patio enclosures.
In 2023, iCare Medicare plan members received $150 a month total for food, OTC products, and more when using the spending account card, plus dental and vision coverage. Rest easy. iCare is looking out for you and your health.
It's a brand new day.
Don't let junk get in the way. All you have to do is point.
And you'll be back to your old self again.
Yeah!
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Tonight on News 3 Now, a Madison City Council race came down to just 2 votes. We're going to tell you how this means that every vote truly counts.
And a historic first for an elected city council member. We'll bring you the details tonight at 6.
A toddler sexually assaulted and a Poynette mother crying out for justice.
I'm terrified to see his name again next to another little girl's name.
In a News 3 Now investigation, Catherine Merck looks into why the perpetrator didn't make the sex offender registry. Thursday at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
New at 5, Taiwan's president made an historic visit to California today, despite the risk of deteriorating the relationship with China. Taiwan's leader hoping to shore up support for her democratic nation as the threat of a takeover from China grows larger. And she was met with a bipartisan group of lawmakers promising to stand beside her nation.
Missouri officials say 4 people are dead and several others are injured after a tornado struck the region. The same storm front continues to trek east across the central U.S. after battering parts of Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan. Laura Aguirre has more as residents begin to clean up the damage.
Bollinger County, Missouri, hit by a deadly storm in the early morning hours Wednesday. The number of fatalities could rise in the coming hours as state highway police there say search and rescue efforts continue. This savage storm system, threatening about 60 million Americans, is moving east after battering parts of Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan.
Oh my God!
Kelowna, Illinois, still assessing major damage after being hit by at least one of 7 reported tornadoes to roar through that state Tuesday.
I mean, we're lucky. I don't know. I look at all this and I'm just like amazed. We're just hoping that it gets by us and we don't have no more damage, but that's what we're praying for now.
Oh, she is a beauty. Oh my God.
In neighboring Iowa, tornadoes like this one in Pleasantville Tuesday weren't the only continuing weather threat. Hail the size of baseballs or even larger reported here and in several cities across the Midwest. To the south, more hail and tornado watches in effect for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, including Little Rock, heavily damaged in last week's severe storms. The National Weather Service warns everyone in the affected central and southern regions to heed all severe weather advisories through Wednesday. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Let's get a check now on your first warned forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, we had our fair share of severe weather last night, but fortunately temperatures were just cool enough to keep most of our severe weather in the form of hail. A lot of hail reports, a few wind reports as well. Some of these hail reports were in the 1.5 inch to almost 2 inch in diameter range, about the size of golf balls. But we did get some reports of strong winds, about 60 miles an hour, causing some damage in the northeastern portion of Rock County. But we'll widen out the view, and you can see just to our south a lot of wind damage and some tornado reports over parts of northern Illinois, as well as parts of central Iowa, and farther to the south, even more tornado reports. Our temperatures, for the most part, stayed in the 40s and 50s. The 70s made it as far north as Janesville before the thunderstorms that came through around between 10 and midnight kind of pushed that front back south and kind of stabilized the atmosphere a little bit more. But you can see tornadoes over parts of central Iowa, and that was around 7 o'clock last night. And then you can just see how widespread the severe weather was from Texas all the way up to the U.S.-Canadian border, even into the snow. Some reports of hail mixed in with snow and freezing rain up in northern portions of Minnesota, but the tornado reports were mainly from Iowa and Illinois southward. Of course, the storm south of St. Louis with at least 5 fatalities that we know of so far around Glen Allen, Missouri. So just a very bad night again for severe weather, and we're getting into that time of year. Around here, the big problem now is winds. We're still seeing some wind gusts in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range, a few places around 40 miles an hour. Some of the peak wind gusts, Madison hit 49 miles an hour, 49 miles an hour in Rockford. Monroe hit 53 miles an hour. But the good news is things are starting to settle down. In fact, the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook calling for above normal temperatures for much of the eastern 2/3 of the country as the colder weather shifts back toward the west. Highest probabilities are just out to the east of us, and precipitation expected to be above above normal, but mainly for the end of next week. We've got about a 6 to 7 day period with very little in the way of precipitation, including the Easter holiday. So that's something good to look forward to. As we check out our planning your night forecast for Dane County, skies become clear. It'll still remain windy. Low temperature dropping to 28 in Verona, 29 in Dalyville, and 28 degrees in Windsor. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low temperatures ranging from 30 in Janesville, Monroe, to 28 in Baraboo, 27 in Lone Rock, and 27 in La Crosse. For tomorrow, lots of sunshine, but it'll still be windy and chilly. High temperature at 50 degrees. As we take a look at our first warn 7 to 10 day forecast, up to 52 on Friday, but with less wind. Saturday up to 60 degrees, although it will be a little breezy. Easter Sunday right now, I'm thinking it's going to be dry during the day with a high of 64. Now, we could see a chance of showers Sunday night and a slight chance of showers into Monday morning. But take a look at the temperatures next week. We now have high temperatures in the 70s beginning on Monday and going all the way through Friday. But there will be better chances for showers and thunderstorms from Thursday afternoon through Friday of next week. Probably the best chance Saturday of next weekend with high temperatures in the upper 60s. As we check out first warn traffic, this is the scene on the Beltline near Whitney Way. Of course, the camera shaking around with the strong winds, but you can see the traffic backed up on the eastbound Beltline. There was an accident near Whitney Way on the eastbound Beltline, so traffic is backed up all the way around to Mineral Point Road. As far as travel times are concerned, right now about a half-hour trip on the Beltline eastbound from University Avenue to I-3990, 16 minutes going back in the westbound direction, 18 minutes coming in from downtown, from Sun Prairie to downtown on East Washington Avenue. Heading outbound, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990, 16 minutes Middleton to Sauk City on US 12, and downtown to Sun Prairie on the outbound side is an 18-minute trip. That's your news for now. First warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. The clock is ticking to an upcoming deadline if you still haven't done your taxes. Now, due to April 15th being a Saturday and then Monday the 17th being a holiday in the District of Columbia, your tax deadline is April 18th this year, but that's less than 2 weeks away. Now, the good news is experts say it should be a little less complicated than in recent years.
A lot of the things like the stimulus payments and the advanced child tax credits, we don't have those this year. Those existed in prior years. 2022 looks a lot more like 2019.
And on Saturday, the IRS will open many of its tax prep centers this weekend for walk-in, in-person help. Some sites will be offering specialized help on retirement and pension topics for taxpayers 60 and older. Well, coming up, why more and more people are unhappy with the state of customer service across the U.S. That story next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Tomorrow is more than just a fresh start. Tomorrow is a long time coming. It's continuing the work we started over 20 years ago by growing our investments in solar and wind. Bridging to a sustainable energy future.
Community is helping each other, making sure your neighbor is taken care of. At Lake Ridge Bank, community is who we are. We take pride in being a community bank, strengthening relationships and investing in the places we come from. It's why we are who we are. Lake Ridge Bank. Go far, go together.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
with American biofuels, E15 saves drivers money, reduces emissions, and creates jobs in rural communities. Last year, when gas prices were spiking, President Biden extended summer sales of E15 and saved drivers nearly $1 per gallon in some areas. We can't afford higher gas prices this summer. We need the Biden administration to act again. Tell Senator Baldwin that President Biden must protect access to E15 and extend savings at the pump.
Experience does count. When you're shopping for new furniture, a mattress set, or flooring, come to the experts at McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo. Our experienced staff is well-trained in home decorating and will answer all your questions so you can buy with confidence. You'll find big city selection and an enjoyable shopping experience. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Come see the difference experience can make at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A new survey shows Americans are more frustrated with customer service than ever before.
So hard to believe. Christian Benavides explains why.
Paul Reichman had a recent run-in with customer service at an airline, trying to get a voucher for a canceled flight.
It took me about, I would say, 18 months to finally get the voucher.
Summer and Troy Jeffrey needed help solving a hotel booking problem.
What is it like right now calling a customer service agent?
If you can get through to a customer service agent, you know, it's always automated. So it's hard to actually speak to someone.
The aggravation is reflected in the latest edition of the National Customer Rage Survey. A record 74% of Americans said they had a service or product issue in the past year. And 63% of those said they felt some sort of rage trying to resolve the issue.
The survey found frustrated Americans are getting more vocal. 43% admitted yelling or raising their voice at customer service agents.
You could be on a customer service phone waiting an hour and a half sometimes. And whose blood isn't going to boil?
To repeat this menu, press 9.
Many consumers also get angry using automated systems. Others have difficulty just finding contact information for a company.
If you try and go to a lot of websites these days, it's almost impossible to figure out where should I go to get help.
Scott Bredsman is CEO of the organization behind the survey and says companies risk losing customers and receiving negative reviews.
The percentage of people posting a complaint on social media has more than doubled since 2020. Now it's about 1 out of every 3 consumers will publicly post their complaint.
And customer dissatisfaction is poised to grow as companies rely more heavily on technology instead of people to handle service issues. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
Final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break.
It's time to march into deer season. Get your John Deere 1025R with a 120R loader for just $195 per month. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under-eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes. And what I love about Plexiderm is this is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under-eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more." It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera.
This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it. I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines, like, it's amazing.
You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself, I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
There's nothing better than a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Right now, you can get a Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress with an adjustable base for just $58 per month when you use Steinhafels' special 72-month financing. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Relax, it's Steinhafels.
Run with Sloan's on a John Deere X350, built for taking it easy. Get yours for $57 per month with 4.9% for 60 months and nothing down. Get a John Deere now and
power up at Sloan's.
Think Sloan's first.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, twisters tearing through the Midwest and South. We're on the ground tonight in a rural community directly hit by the latest tornado, the dangerous forecast. That and more news tonight on the CBS Evening News.
And Gary's back with the latest on our forecast.
Yeah, windy out there, but the winds will be dying down gradually during the day tomorrow. There's a live view from the WISC Skycam. We're starting to get sunshine. The Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam starting to clear out there as well. But wind gusts right now still in about the 25 to 35 mile per hour range. A few places closer to 40 miles an hour, like Monroe, they're at 39. Current temperatures continue to fall. Milwaukee's near 50, Madison in the mid-40s, La Crosse already in the 30s. Here in Dane County, we're still in the 40s, but these temperatures will continue to fall. 42 right now in Cross Plains, 42 in Belleville. Look for skies become mostly clear this evening. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 30s by late evening.
All right, CBS Evening News coming your way next. We're back in 30 minutes with News 3 Now at 6.